Okay, let's unpack this. Elon Musk is at it again, and his latest pronouncements about XAI's upcoming Grok 5 have certainly stirred the pot.
They really have.
It feels like more than just another tech headline, you know? It's genuinely sparked some intense debate and, well, a lot of curiosity across the entire AI world.
It absolutely has.
Like,
And what's particularly fascinating isn't just the boldness of the claims themselves, but the context, the incredibly fast-paced context in which they're emerging.
right.
I mean, this year alone has already seen an acceleration in AI capabilities that, frankly, very few anticipated.
That's precisely why we wanted to do this deep dive today. We're going to try and peel back the layers on Musk's, let's say, audacious statements about Grok 5,
Especially the AGI part.
especially its potential to achieve artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to do that, we've pulled together, well, quite a stack of sources, everything from direct posts by Elon Musk himself on X to in-depth expert analyses from leading tech publications, and also some critical academic research on AI benchmarks and the very definition of AGI itself.
Which is crucial context.
Absolutely. So our mission here is pretty straightforward. We want to cut through the noise, the speculation, help you understand the technical backbone of XAI and Grok.
Get behind the headlines.
Exactly. Evaluate these ambitious claims against, the actual scientific evidence, and ultimately explore the broader implications for the future of AI. We really want you to walk away feeling truly informed on what could be, well, a pivotal moment.
Yeah, it's about discerning not just what's being said, but understanding the underlying tech, the ambitions driving it, and the potential ripple effects for the whole field.
So let's jump right in. Let's start with the story of Grok and XAI, how they've been building towards what Musk calls a maximum truth AI.
Right.
You might remember XAI, founded by Elon Musk back in 2023. It wasn't just another startup, was it? It was positioned as his answer to what he saw as maybe fundamental limitations in existing AI models.
Yeah, particularly those from the big players like OpenAI. He was quite vocal about that.
He was.
And Grok, right from the get-go, had this unique character. Its name, of course, is a little nod to Douglas Adams's Hitchhiker's Guide.
Which tells you something about its intended personality.
Exactly. It was designed to be this AI assistant that delivers maximum truth and maximum usefulness, often with a, let's say, distinctive wit and pretty unrestricted responses. It initially rolled out in 2023, and access was pretty limited at first, largely for X-Premium subscribers,
Yeah.
but its development since then, incredibly rapid.
Maximum truth and maximum usefulness. That's a really intriguing philosophy, isn't it? Especially in AI. But it wasn't just philosophy. It was tangible progress, too.
Right.
We saw Grok 1.5 Vision, that was April 2024, a pretty major leap, introducing multimodal capabilities.
So it could see.
Basically, yeah. It can certainly process not just text, but images, too, understand visual information. Then, just a few months ago, August 2025, Grok 2.5 hit a really significant milestone. It went open source.
And that open source move is, well, it's far from trivial. It's a really powerful statement. It promotes community collaboration, transparency.
Which the AI field desperately needs sometimes.
It really does. And it aligns directly with recommendations from, leading organizations like the AI, the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. This kind of openness is just vital for academic review, for building broader trust in the tech.
Okay.
And following that, Grok 3 and 3.5, also popping up in 2025, really honed in on what XAI describes as reasoning from first principles.
Okay, reasoning from first principles for an AI. What does that actually mean in practice? Are we talking about it breaking down a problem like, say, a physicist would, rather than just spotting patterns in the data it was trained on?
That's pretty much it, exactly. Instead of just seeing, okay, A usually leads to B because it's seen that pattern thousands of times, and AI reasoning from first principles tries to understand the fundamental why. So imagine you give it a complex rocket engineering problem. It wouldn't just, pull a stored formula. It would attempt to derive the solution from the basic laws of physics.
Like a human expert tackling something totally new.
Precisely. And that's a crucial differentiator when you're talking about general intelligence, about truly innovative problem solving. And it's an area where Musk specifically claims Grok is, well, superior.
Right. And then came Grok 4. That really grabbed headlines, didn't it? Outperforming GPT-5 in benchmarks like AGI, Musk specifically talked about Grok 4 demonstrating superior thinking performance. This isn't just about having a bigger database or more parameters, is it?
No, it's absolutely not. AGI, that specific benchmark, is designed to test a model's ability to reason abstractly, to solve novel problems it hasn't explicitly seen before.
So less memorization, more actual problem solving.
Exactly. It's not just pattern recognition. So this isn't just, a bragging right for XAI. It hints at maybe a different kind of intelligence emerging, a foundational step towards truly novel thinking, and yeah, an important indicator in this whole pursuit of AGI.
Gotcha.
And this progress, it's worth noting, also seems to stem from XAI's rather distinct training methodology. They talk about using highly curated data, actively correcting what they've called garbage, often found in those massive, sprawling, traditional data sets.
Interesting.
And this approach, actually, it aligns quite well with some recent academic studies on data quality. Places like Stanford have looked into this.
Okay, so before we even get to Grok 5, you can really see this aggressive trajectory XAI has been on. Constantly pushing the envelope, emphasizing transparency with the open source move, and this unique quality-focused approach to data.
Yeah, a relentless acceleration.
And that groundwork, that context is so important because it's against this backdrop that Elon Musk made these statements that, well, sent shockwaves through the AI community.
A very deliberate and, yeah, accelerated path indeed, setting the stage.
So here's where it gets really interesting. We've traced the journey. Now let's dive into Elon Musk's really bold declarations, specifically about Grok 5.
Right.
August 2025. His statements on X just crank the expectations way up. August 7th, he posted, and I'm quoting here, Grok 5 will be out before the end of this year, and it will be crushingly good.
Crushingly good.
Yeah, even used the Spanish devastadoramente bueno, devastatingly good. And he specifically mentioned integrations with Tesla and Optimus.
And then, just a couple of weeks later, August 21st, he basically doubled down, elevated those expectations even further. Another post, wait until you see Grok 5. I think it has a shot at being true AGI. Haven't felt that about anything before.
Wow. That's a profound statement, especially coming from someone like Musk, so deep in AI development.
It really is, and it forces us, and you listening, to grapple with what true AGI actually means.
It does. It's a term thrown around a lot. But for folks who follow this closely, the academic definition is key. So how does the academic world, how do researchers at places like DeepMind define artificial general intelligence?
Well, according to the academic literature, papers coming out of DeepMind and similar labs, AGI is defined as an AI capable of performing any intellectual task a human can.
Any task.
Any is the key word there. It's not just about excelling at specific narrow things like playing Go or writing poems.
Which current AI is already amazing at.
Exactly. It's about exhibiting broad, adaptable intelligence, the ability to learn and apply knowledge across completely diverse domains, much like a human mind does.
And Musk wasn't pulling any punches about the competition either, was he?
Not at all.
He claimed Grok 4 was already superior to GPT-5, weeks before GPT-5 even officially launched.
A very provocative claim.
And he confidently predicted Grok 5 would widely surpass competitors. It's worth noting, too, these aren't just rumors. These claims are directly from his X posts, and they are, in theory, verifiable within the XAI ecosystem. It's open API, mobile apps, they allow people to interact with Grok.
Yeah, you can sort of test it out yourself to a degree.
Right.
But this all raises a really important question for us. What's behind such strong, almost preemptive statements? And how do we place them within the current, hyper-competitive AI research landscape?
Yeah, how do we contextualize this?
It really compels us to look beyond the hype, beyond the tweets, and actually look at the scientific evidence or lack thereof.
Let's do that. Because it's not just about the claims, right? It's about what the data, what the broader scientific community can tell us. We touched on this earlier.
The ARC-AGI benchmark.
Exactly. Grok 4 did indeed outperform GPT-5 on ARC-AGI, that academic test measuring abstract reasoning. This isn't just Musk saying it. It's a benchmark result validated by respected researchers, including Francois Chalais, who actually developed the ARC benchmark.
And that is a genuinely significant detail. It speaks to a capability that might go beyond just, rote memorization or incredibly sophisticated pattern matching. Some studies, for example, ones published on preprint servers like ArcFurf, highlight that models like Grok are using something called reasoning of chain of thought.
Chain of thought. Okay.
It's not just a buzzword. It's a method where the AI basically breaks down a complex problem into sequential, logical steps, kind of like showing its work.
Instead of just jumping to the answer.
Exactly, instead of just spitting out a final answer. And this structured thinking process, well, it can improve performance on really complex tasks by a remarkable amount, sometimes 20, even 30%. It seems to be a key mechanism for more advanced, maybe more human human-like problem solving.
That deeper reasoning capability definitely makes the AGI claims feel a bit more substantive, less like pure marketing.
Potentially, yes.
And circling back to transparency for a second, Grok 2.5 being open source plays a vital role here too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It allows for that broad academic review, which, as we mentioned, aligns perfectly with what groups like the TRIA AI recommend for transparent AI development. This openness is just essential for the scientific community to actually scrutinize, understand, and ideally validate the capabilities being claimed.
But there's always a but.
There usually is. It's also really crucial to bring in the critical academic viewpoints, balance the narrative.
Right.
For instance, respected publications like Scientific American have voiced some skepticism. They argue that while current models might crush it on specific tests like AIR-RC-AGI,
Which Grok 4 apparently did.
right, but they often fail in real generalization, meaning they might not be able to apply that learned knowledge effectively to completely new, unseen situations in the messy real world the way true AGI presumably would.
Okay, so good at tests, maybe not so good at life yet.
That's one way to put it, yeah. Similarly, while something like the Time 100 AI list for 2025 certainly acknowledges Musk's huge influence in the field, it also raises important flags about potential biases.
Ah, the bias issue. Always lurking.
Always. Biases can inadvertently be baked in through the massive amounts of data used for training. That's a recurring concern for pretty much any large language model.
So what this really means for you, as you're trying to make sense of all this, is it's not just about what Elon Musk tweets. It's about weighing that ambition against the actual empirical data, the benchmark results, and what the broader scientific community is observing and critiquing.
Exactly. It's about balancing that undeniable ambition with concrete evidence and, rigorous critical analysis.
Taking that comprehensive, informed view.
Precisely. Not just accepting pronouncements, however bold, at face value.
Okay, that comprehensive view is vital. Because if Grok 5 delivers even, say, a fraction of what's being promised, the ripple effects could be enormous. So let's talk practical implications. What should we brace for? And maybe more importantly, what are the big challenges a system like this presents as we edge closer to maybe AGI? Well, on the practical side, first, Grok 5 promises even more advanced multimodal capabilities. So moving beyond just processing images and text to potentially much richer, more nuanced interactions with the real world.
More senses, almost.
Kind of, but what truly stands out, I think, is the significant integration Grok 5 is apparently slated to have with real-world hardware.
The Tesla and Optimus connection he mentioned.
Exactly. Tesla vehicles, Optimus robots. This suggests potentially major advancements in autonomous vehicles where the AI needs to truly understand and navigate complex physical environments, and maybe a significant leap forward for humanoid robotics, too.
That level of integration definitely makes it clear we're talking about much more than just a chatbot on your phone.
Oh, absolutely.
But okay, let's dig into the challenges. Because if an AI is genuinely getting close to AGI, these questions become absolutely paramount. First up, ethics and alignment.
The big one.
Grok aims for maximum truth and unrestricted responses. How does that specific philosophy complicate the alignment challenge? Ensuring it acts in humanity's best interest, especially if it does genuinely approach AGI.
That's a critical tension, isn't it? If an AGI truly prioritizes maximum truth above everything else, well, its unfiltered perspectives might not always align with human sensitivities or even our current understanding of societal well-being.
It might say things we find uncomfortable or even harmful.
Potentially. This is precisely what institutions like the Future of Humanity Institute are warning about when they discuss existential risks. The question isn't just, can it do the task, but should it do the task this way? And how do we control it if its truth differs radically from ours?
A very thorny problem.
Yeah.
Okay, challenge number 2. The sheer technical hurdles, scalability. Training these massive advanced models takes enormous computational resources. We're already seeing huge energy efficiency challenges, right? Studies from places like Google DeepMind highlight this constantly.
Absolutely. The environmental footprint alone is a growing concern. Can we actually afford, in terms of energy and resources, to train potentially dozens of these planet-scale models?
That's a huge question. Okay, third challenge. Regulatory compliance.
Increasingly critical, yes, as AI systems get more powerful and integrated into everything.
Cars, robots.
Exactly. They start falling under evolving legal frameworks, like the EU AI Act, particularly anything deemed a high-risk AI system. Navigating this incredibly complex legal and ethical landscape is becoming paramount for any major AI player, including XAI.
Fourth challenge. Biases and transparency. These seem like perennials.
They really are. Mitigating the biases that can just inadvertently creep in from those vast training data sets is a recurring problem. We see it highlighted in reviews from organizations like the ACM all the time.
And when you're talking about an AI that aims for maximum truth, ensuring we understand why it makes certain decisions and that those decisions aren't subtly skewed by biased input data becomes even more essential, right?
Absolutely critical. If its truth is built on a biased foundation, what does that even mean?
Good point. And finally, fifth challenge. Accessibility and competition.
Yeah, this is a big one too.
Hmm.
XAI has this challenge of competing with the other AI giants, Google, Meta, OpenAI, Anthropic, while also trying to maintain some element of openness, like they did with Grok 2.5.
Right.
The concern for the broader AI community, for academics, for smaller players, is avoiding monopolies. Monopolies could potentially stifle academic innovation and limit the widespread benefits of AI development if only a few companies control the most powerful models.
So it's a balancing act.
It really is. And if you connect all these dots, Grok 5's development, whether it achieves AGI or not, really brings these critical, multifaceted challenges right to the forefront. These are issues that transcend any single company or model. It's fundamentally about shaping the future of AI responsibly.
And for everyone.
Hopefully for everyone.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive has truly taken us on quite the journey. We started with Grok's, slightly quirky origins and its intriguing maximum truth philosophy.
The Hitchhiker's Guide connection.
Right. Navigated through Musk's really bold AGI claims for Grok 5, looked at the supporting benchmarks like Grok 4 beating GPT-5 in those abstract reasoning tests,
Which is significant.
but also brought in the necessary academic critiques, the reality checks, that remind us all to balance that ambition with a healthy dose of scientific skepticism.
Indeed. Grok 5, whatever its ultimate form actually turns out to be, clearly represents a significant marker, maybe a milestone, in this relentless race toward AGI.
It feels like it.
It's pushing boundaries, certainly in areas like reasoning and practical applications, especially through that planned deep integration with hardware like cars and robots. It offers a really fascinating, if maybe slightly unsettling, glimpse into what a truly integrated AI future might look like.
But the crux of it, as we've kind of circled back to a few times, is that the true impact of Grok 5 or any system like it will depend not just on its raw technical power.
Its IQ points, so to speak.
Right. But crucially, on its ethical implementation, its transparency, how well it's aligned, and its accessibility to a broader community of researchers and, eventually, users.
Yeah. Musk isn't just making headlines here. He's arguably forcing a necessary, maybe overdue, global debate about what's really coming next in AI.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, our listener. As you consider these incredibly rapid advancements, ponder this. If AGI or something very close to it truly emerges, what new ethical questions arise when an AI isn't just useful or intelligent in a functional sense, but is also capable of independent wit and humor, as Grok explicitly aims to be?
That's a fascinating layer. How do we then define accountability for an entity that exhibits not just human-like intellect, but also human-like personality traits? Where do the lines of responsibility ultimately fall when an AI can crack a joke, maybe a sarcastic one, before making a critical decision?
Yeah. It's a profound thought that goes way beyond just the technical achievement, doesn't it? Something to really mull over.